The new year is fast approaching, and what awaits the class of 2028 will be the most defining and pivotal stretch of their baseball lives. The future games, college commitments, it's about to get real and real fast for these sophomores. Ahead of those key months comes a new set of 2028 rankings. Our focus as we dial in for another coffee and curveballs. Cory McCartney and Shooter Hunt with you as always. Shooter, modest is the word you've used in describing this update, which continues to be led by Georgia phenom Dexter McCleon Jr. Is that a byproduct of a class where so much is defined at the top?
Yeah, I think one of the big things to keep in mind is that the college coaches are grabbing as many names as they can, creating these follow lists. But what we're doing too is trying to grab these follow lists as we march towards the prep baseball future games in July. This kind of starts that path of that year long, the same way the seniors are going through their draft process. This is kind of that future games process where we know we're going to find many more players. Guys are going to sift up, guys are going to continue to develop. And the whole time our scouts on the ground will be there.
Well, you put together a list of 25 marquee risers over at prepbaseball.com. We're going to zero in on 7 of them here. Let's start with the top 25. Florida shortstop Caleb Hernandez is up to 20th. Massachusetts right-hander and third baseman Dylan Cunningham now sits 24th. Hernandez, who was Prep Baseball Florida's newcomer of the year, can flat out hit. Raked at a 450 clip last spring for Doral Academy. He's registered a 98.4 top exit velo. Meanwhile, Cunningham out of Austin Prep showed out big time at Massachusetts' fall top prospect games, a 92.8 mile an hour fastball and a 100.3 exit velo.
And I think what's interesting again about the fall is that it's kind of a tight window, but guys have a chance to continue to make those advancements, especially in the sophomore class. Caleb Hernandez coming from a big time program like Doral Academy down there in South Florida, had that big spring last year, carries it over into the summer. And in the fall, it looks like he's that next wave of big, really talented South Florida shortstops that's going to come out. The bat is really there. The metrics, the frame still projects. And oh, yeah, he can really pick it at shortstop. He's going to stick there long term. And then you go up into New England, Dylan Cunningham, who not only can he pitch and the metrics were off the chart, that's something that really stood out to me. We get the track man out there. He can really spin the baseball. It's a big physical frame. The arm strength is obviously there. He also swings it well. I love the athleticism. Austin Prep is a school that right now that I've circled that I want to see this spring because they have a really good program. So those are 2 guys in the top 25 who could still rise even higher.
Within the top 100, David Vargas continues making a name for himself in the shadow of Lake Point at Cartersville. He's now 73rd. And Pennsylvania right-hander Carson Steingel moves up to 90th. I'm a big fan of Vargas. The shortstop hit leadoff as a freshman for the Purple Hurricanes. Struck out just 14 times in 144 plate appearances. That's a 9% K rate. Steingel out of Nazareth area topped out at 92, can command the slider and change and shooter. Let's be real. Longtime watchers know you have an affinity for Pennsylvania right-handers.
That's absolutely right. Look at you busting out the advanced analytics on a guy with the K rate. But Vargas, another guy, can really pick it. He's in Cartersville in your backyard there at Lake Point. I'm already looking at the GDC. How am I going to fit all these guys into a 3-day weekend? We're going to see as much talent as I can down there. But Vargas, love the upside. He's a guy talking with Hudson Graham and Ian Smith in Georgia that we have highly profiled and a guy that we want to see probably next summer at the future games. Don't want to give anything away. And then you go to Steingall. You said it. Those Pennsylvania arms have a chance to pop. And when we sit down, especially with these young groups, who are the big guys in Pennsylvania who have a chance to make those jumps, who move well, they have the ability to spin the baseball, they have the secondary and obviously athletic with the physicality. And Steingall is one of those dudes. Talking with Nate Ock out there in Pennsylvania, he was buzzing about him at our leadership summit in Las Vegas. So really looking forward to seeing those 2 guys as well.
Just outside the top 100 sits Arizona's Chase Philman, outfielder and lefty arm. He's now 103, and he has built himself up as a social media influencer, has over 38,000 followers on Instagram. He's doing videos with Alex Hale from Chis Performance Center. Oh, and the kid can rake with exit velos near 104, a 92 mile an hour arm from the outfield, and he's up to 88.4 on the mound.
I'm so stuck in my dungeon here that I didn't even know any of that. All I knew is that this guy can swing the bat. And it's something that the impact nature, the impact and acceleration of what he does from the left side, he can also pitch. It's big velo there. As you know, I love those 2 ways with that competitiveness, really helps drive their development long term. But it's a sweet left-handed stroke. I really like this Arizona 2028 class, and I think he's got a chance to be a big one, Philman.
Let's wrap with a pair of arms. Iowa lefty Henry Heller, he's now 199, and North Myrtle Beach righty Andrew Mundy, now 259. Heller is out of Mock Floyd Valley. Mock, by the way, stands for Marathon, Orange City, and Central, three original school
Okay.
districts that combined to form Mock Floyd Valley. And that is the end of my Iowa tourism segment. And Heller showed up and showed out at the Central Super Sophomore Games. Fastball up to 89.5. He's got a wicked slider. Monday, meanwhile, sitting at 84 a year ago. He's now on the cusp of 90, intimidating physical frame, 6'5", 220 pounds.
Yeah, it's kind of a trend here. These big body, physical guys who are still even going to get stronger and even more physical. But you go to Heller in as a left-hander, comes out of the hand really well. It's kind of a tough spot. Looks like it's going to be one of those unicorn fastballs able to generate whiffs in the zone, those IZMs, and a guy who can spin it. I just love the durability, the way he competes out there. He collects a lot of punch outs. I think college coaches get Henry Heller's name circled, left-hander, chance to be a weekend type guy in the making. Looking forward to seeing him throughout next summer. Hopefully, if Mock's not making it to the state playoffs because Iowa does go super late. And then Monday, another guy who really blew up, talking with Sammy Esposito in South Carolina, guy who just looks the part. And even more important, he's big, physical, right? Some of those guys can just be overpowering. He moves really well. It really allows us to predict that he's going to have a chance to make those jumps and get even better in the future. We got a lot of power arms in this 28 class. I'm really excited to see them this summer.
Well, 2028's the feature games await. Cannot wait to see who will be making the trip down to Lake Point Sports this summer to see us. So, fellas, make the most of those preseason all states, those ID events before tearing it up this spring. Of course, we'll be back for more coffee and curveballs. So make sure you subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Until next time, I'm Cory McCartney, that's Shooter Hunt, and we'll see you at the Diamond.